You're watching Rogers TV.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello and welcome back to The Stage Door, presented by Canberra Arts and Rogers TV. Canberra Arts is so excited to become a partner in presenting The Stage Door here in Corner Brook, and this week we are so excited to have another significant community arts organization with us, the Rotary Arts Centre. So I'm here with Nicole and Brad from the Rotary Arts Centre. Welcome to The Stage Door, folks.
Thanks so much.
Such a privilege to have you. The Rotary Arts Centre, or the RAC, has been fairly well known in Corner Brook, I would say, but we wanted to take a chance not only to talk about the upcoming events, but about the centre and about the people who run it. So Nicole, we'll start with you. You have relocated to Corner Brook for the Rotary Arts Centre, but where would you say your artistic journey began? What were the roots that made you think, whoa, I want to go into the arts and become an arts leader?
Yeah, well, I like to think of my career as having a series of good love stories.
Amazing.
So my first love story was with contemporary dance, and I got a chance to be a professional performer and to tour and to really live that life. My second love story was with arts and education, and I worked with a really amazing arts education program called Learning Through the Arts that also worked out here, teaching math and science and language and history through dance, drama, music, and visual arts. And that was the love story of that arts education was about transforming schools to be more creative and welcoming to people who learn in all different ways. And then now I feel like I'm in the love story of art centers. You know, when you walk into an art center, everybody has come there with meaning and joy and enthusiasm. And that is certainly true of the Rotary Arts Centre. Part of the reason why I'm here, though, is because my great-grandmother was born in Sandy Point and then relocated to St. George's. And so there's something that I feel like I need to understand about the land that she came from and to understand what that means to me personally.
What was it like to see this space and to come here and become a part of it so quickly as the arts goes?
Yeah, speaking of love, that was the first thing that I noticed, is that it was a much beloved space. I asked a lot of people, just being a bit tricksy about what I wanted to find out, I was asking, you know, why do we need a space like this? Why is this space important? And oh my gosh, people gushed. There was such a sense of need within the community, even though Corner Brook is a really arts-rich community, even though there are many other spaces and there's so many fantastic people doing the arts, it seems like a home like the Rotary Arts Centre was still really important. That's the first thing that I noticed. And then the second thing was that there was a fantastic staff team who was really so loyal, so dedicated, so skilled, and they were really holding this place together with their sweat and their blood and their tears and their heart. And so that was a gift to walk in to have such an amazing staff. And the gallery space too is so beloved. Like the people who care for that gallery space, both the staff and the community members who volunteer, they are so dedicated to keeping that a space that can be really both edgy, but also community focused, contemporary, but also open to many different levels of expertise and skill present in the gallery space. Like it's, when we think of, you perform in the theater, so often when people think of the Rotary Arts Centre, they think about the theater, but that gallery space is also such a cornerstone for many people in the community.
Absolutely, and it's always a privilege to walk through and to see the latest exhibit in its various forms. And you know, it's important to also mention that those are two layers of the space, but there's also studios. So
yeah,
I think we have to follow that line now and tell what is at this wonderful facility.
Yeah, there's the artist studios, so there's many artists who come in every day and they just work quietly and simply on their own work there in these very beautiful little nooks for their own creative nooks where they can share their own creative passion. And we're working on lots of different outreach too. So hopefully what the Rotary Art Centre will exist beyond its beautiful walls as well.
Excellent, and outreach is certainly one of the. I think it's a very important priority in our community. It's certainly what Canberra Arts has been working towards. So it's
Absolutely.
so exciting to see the community grow in that direction with so many new groups, not new groups, but new transitions that really focus on the outreach, because access is so important, and to have so many free workshops through the Rotary Arts Centre that are coming up is so exciting.
And I know we're going to talk more about
soon,
that, and we're going to talk more about where it's all going. We want to hear from the amazing Brad before we do that. But just in relation to Canberra Arts, the partnership that I hope that we're forming, and the partnership that Rotary Arts Centre is going to form with a lot of different other arts organizations, I hope that those partnerships will really be the foundation of what this community arts centre is going forward.
We'll shift things to Brad and talk about Brad's identity.
Yeah.
So Brad, you've been really growing with the Rotary Arts Centre.
Absolutely.
And it was a reason to have some consistency for you in terms of staying home, not being on the road as much. So as a technician, what inspired you in that world, and what was your background in that world before the Rotary Arts Centre?
It started very, very young. My brother is a technician as well, and we both got our start with our home stereo. My father would put headphones and play with the balance when we were toddlers, and we were always fascinated with all the buttons and dials and all that stuff on a home hi-fi system. And then as we grew up, music became a passion. Of course, sound reinforcement is a major part of that, so we would always help out with any small shows, high school battles of the bands, that sort of thing. And then eventually I moved to Toronto and started working with him at one of the largest production companies in North America. They staffed about 1,500 people, 1,500 technicians in Canada and the US, and worked on a variety of different things over the years there. The pull from home was getting stronger and stronger. So I was living at home for a while. I would go back up to Ontario and freelance during busy seasons. Then eventually ended up in Halifax for a couple of years. Worked with a lot of different festivals and different things in Halifax and the surrounding area. And then again, the pull for home was getting strong again, and decided to move home. And very, very luckily, I feel very, very fortunate to have gotten a position at the Rotary Arts Centre. I got to work very closely with David Smallwood, which was a huge blessing. I can't say enough good things about Dave.
And Dave has free tickets forever to the Rotary Arts
This is
Centre,
true,
so
yeah.
that will
As he
maintain.
should. I think that's a wonderful.
That will be his
wonderful
home
gift
forever.
and legacy.
Yeah. So felt very, very blessed to work and learn with David, and just moving home and being away for as long as I was. I really was surprised at the level of talent in this community.
Seriously.
And it is still to this day, I'm blown away by what people are able to do in this small community. We're under 20,000 people and have world-class talent. I've worked with a lot of people on the East Coast when I stayed in Halifax, worked with a lot of people in the Toronto area, and honestly, Corner Brook it's unbelievable, the talent. Whether it's people like yourself in musical theater, whether it's musicians like Alison Crowe, and I could go down a list. I'm not going to bore your audience with just rhyming off names, but just recently, I will sing the praises of young Noah Hamilton. I'm sure most of your viewers are familiar with Noah. Noah's recently left us, unfortunately, to pursue his career in Toronto, but he was one of our major success stories. He was our first artist in residence. He performed one of the very first shows that we ever did as I think at the time, probably 14 years old. And this is something that the center is something that we're able to do and provide for the younger musicians and artists in the community, is that these individuals didn't have a place to practice, to get used to performing in front of audiences. And we were able to provide that for Noah. And yes, he was unbelievably talented to start. But we were able to give him that experience of what it's like performing for an audience, performing with other musicians. And just to be able to watch him grow as a musician, we all took a lot of pride in that. We all love Noah a lot and really care about him. And it was just a blessing, truly a blessing to watch him grow as a musician and an artist.
And hopefully we'll do a lot more emerging artist programming, not only this year, but in years to come. That's becoming a staple of Rotary Arts Centre as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you look recently, Dia Lee Robertson has done a lot of opening. Carly Rae, Moland, same thing. I think it's so exciting. I know I was talking to Taryn Kawaja, who performed recently, a hometown show. And last year when she performed, Carly Rae was the person she didn't know that opened. And this year, Carly Rae reached out and said, "Hey, I have a demo. Like, do you want to listen to it?" And Taryn was like, "Yeah, okay, this is the first. Can we do this?" So you're building connections and collaborations between artists, and I think Noah's a great example of that from relatively early days.
Absolutely.
And Brad, I wonder, one of the things that you told me that you really liked about the Rotary Arts Centre is that you like to do many different things. You're a creative person, so you like connecting with the artists. You like being the kind of a manager person for them, but you also like doing that sound tech work, but you also really do like doing the leadership work too, and doing the grant writing and the nitty gritty that helps hold an organization together. So that's something that I appreciate about you, is that you can play all of those different roles really well.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Did I say that right?
I do agree. I'm not a very good self-promoter. I see my role at the center as being a support for creative people in the community. People like Ian, other organizations like Open Door. We're going to be partnering with them coming up at the end of the month. We're partnering with the Horseshoe Literary Festival. This is something that's coming up on the later end of October, 25th and 26th. So we're working with Adam Beardsworth and Mauricio Morris from the university. Going to be bringing in a number of literary writers. There's going to be workshops, musical performances. So it's being a support for things like that is my real passion. Just I can't help but help.
Absolutely. I think
That's great.
that's pretty good. And I think it's so important to highlight that, Nicole, and I appreciate that, because so often, the many tasks are not catchable in a title. The basket of a title does not necessarily catch all of those things helping support artists. The grant writing, as a not-for-profit arts organization, grants are a huge support, as is the community support, as is support from provincial and federal government to be able to support the community's artists and to support the community's patrons in having things to do. It's huge.
Absolutely.
We're a service. And we're not actually a business.
Yeah.
We're not actually trying to make more money. We're trying to break even. We're trying to do things responsibly and carefully and kindly. But we, as an arts organization, one requires support from donors, from sponsors, from grants, to really be able to sustain this community service so that people can access the arts very affordably.
Absolutely, which I think is so important. You look across the country, you don't get, certainly a student ticket price at the price that you get it in Corner Brook for a caliber of artist that is pretty incredible to be able to do that. And you have artist ticket prices as well that are supported. And the general ticket price is really a very good deal as well to begin with for a lot of the caliber of artists that we're able to see and share in.
We definitely do our best, and we're also daydreaming streaming, hopefully maybe in collaboration with your organization as well, to more and more different ways that we can remove barriers to access to the arts and to include more and more voices in leadership in the arts.
I would love to talk about some things that we have coming up.
Please do. That's a
but
great line.
I won't take it too far because, as we just said, there is so many things happening, and at the center there are so many things happening.
Meaning that people should totally check out the website if they want to find out all the things that are happening.
RotaryArtsCenter.ca.
Just saying.
But yeah, so coming up this weekend, we have a local production of a Fleetwood Mac tribute show. This was something that that I worked with Nick Hamlin, putting the band together with him, and a very successful run of shows last March, I believe, and now both of the shows are sold out, unfortunately. And they sold very, very quickly. Both nights have been sold out now for a number of weeks. So we're very, very much looking forward to that. Rehearsal sound check is tonight. Shows are Friday and Saturday. Coming up after that, the next couple of ones that I'm particularly excited about. Craig Young. Craig Young has had an incredible music career. He's a incredible guitar player, wonderful vocalist. He's won Canadian Country Guitarist of the Year 4 years in a row. He was nominated 6 years in a row. He's played in Nashville for years. He's toured the world. Again, blessed with riches in this community. So he's going to be joined by relatively newcomer to Corner Brook, Dave Bridgers, who is a jazz-trained upright bass player, and joining them was going to be Paul Harris from Stephenville. Paul is a drummer, percussionist who plays with everybody. He's truly a world-class musician, as are all three. And they're going to be doing a tribute to the legendary Hank Williams. So it's going to be a really, really special night for those fans of classic country music and just great music in general.
Yeah, and how special for a touring artist to be able to collaborate with artists in the community, and worth noting too that Paul's an arts educator as well.
That's right.
In the schools out in Stephenville. So certainly a familiar face to the Rotary Arts Center. I think Paul has backed many folks, including Noah Hamilton on some occasions, and a couple of those tribute shows through the years as well. But that's what a unique opportunity that just shows, collaboration can happen in your space, in the Rotary
And what I'm
Arts
always
Center.
amazed by is that I'll see performers have an idea, present them with the idea, and more often than not, people jump on it. And so I'm really, really excited to see what Craig does with this, because again, truly world-class performer in every sense of the word. So that's on October the 22nd.
Yeah, and I think not only for fans of the genre of country music, but
I'm excited about that Horseshoe Literary Festival. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's going to be...
That's the second year for that, I believe, right? That's a returning event.
That's right. So it's their third year, so relatively new organization. They have their quarterly magazine that they put out. And it's something that we worked very closely with Adam Beardsworth last year. And it's just something that's really, really exciting for us to be able to provide the space and the resources for these workshops. Again, Corner Brook is blessed with a number of unbelievable writers, from young poets to seasoned professionals like the Rex Browns of the world from the March Hare.
And speaking of young poets, I'm going to teach a workshop to children teaching poetry through dance. So we're hoping to get a bunch of school kids into the Rotary Arts Center, and we'll do this workshop on the stage, and then other adults who have come to join the workshops with the Horseshoe Literary Festival can sit in the audience and watch this happen to see if dance can really bring to life some poetry. It'll be fun. We could talk about the artist in residence if that's a good one.
I think that's a great one. Yeah, we have a couple more minutes.
Fantastic. So it's a brand new program this year. We've had 3 artists join us in 2024, and we're going to put a call out really, really soon, like within the next month for artists for 2025.
Amazing.
It's wonderfully funded. We're very grateful for the funding that we've received for that. We have, so that was Jacinthe Armstrong who did that fantastic piece for CB Nui in the gas station that involved multimedia and audience participation. She was our first artist in residence. Megan Holdfast is coming up next.
Oh, exciting.
So people should pay attention to our media because there'll be some community-based workshops coming up, very interactive, very nature-based. And Douglas Walburn Goff is the next artist in residence this year.
That's so exciting.
And the idea is that the artist comes and they kind of live, so to speak, in their home at the Rotary Arts Centre for a month. They get to use one of those studios we were talking about before, and they work on their own creation while also offering some workshops to community, both to generalist community members, hobbyists, people who want to just try something out, and to people who are specialists in their field, like artists.
Great. Well, it certainly sounds there's lots happening, and I know as we kind of wrap up, we've highlighted a couple events, but not only do you have live performance and workshopping and residencies, you also have taken to kind of becoming an independent movie theater here in Corner Brook, a cinema.
So exciting. We just had a beautiful film last night that was a story of a Mi'kmaq youth who, in his journey to come out as in a gay relationship, but also to come back to culture. And then we had a wonderful panel discussion with Corner Brook Bay of Islands Pride and the Wabanaki Two-Spirit Alliance. So that was the first one. But coming up, we've got kind of Halloween-themed movies all month long. That's going to be fun, mostly running on Mondays and Wednesdays. And there's a special event happening with Picture NL on October 21. And we're showing the movie Maudie that was filmed in Newfoundland. And the film director is coming all the way from the UK, and she's going to offer a free screenwriting workshop between 5 and 7 p.m. on October 21, and then the film will screen at 7:30.
Wow.
So that will be up on our media soon, and people can sign up for that.
Yeah, well, that's certainly exciting. There's so much happening, so many opportunities right here through Corner Brook, through this community arts center, the Rotary Arts Center.
Could I say one more thing about
absolutely.
that?
We have time.
I think what's really important for me is that as many community as possible feel included in this community arts center. So we're thinking about who's already here at the Rotary Arts Center and taking really good care to the people who already love it and are already coming out to things. But we're starting to reach out farther and think, okay, who might need a hand of invitation to be invited into the Rotary Arts Center? What ideas do they have? What would they like to see? How can they be better represented? And we're hoping that more people will come as audience members, more people will be artists and apply for some of these amazing programs like the Artist in Residency. We're hoping we're going to have more volunteers. We're hoping we're going to have people join our board in the greatness of time. So just want to put that welcome out there, that
Excellent.
If you're hearing about the Rotary Arts Center for the first time or you're not sure about it, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to make sure that you feel welcome and at home.
Yeah, I think that's the vital component of community spaces and community not-for-profits is it is a service, and it is a service that we are so grateful and thankful across the board. I'm sure any not-for-profit in this region appreciates being here. You know, I think I often think of when TNL and Stephenville Theatre Festival were started in the west coast of Newfoundland, nearing 50 years ago for both those organizations. You know, Maxim Mazumdar, who was not from here, was asked why Newfoundland, and he said, why not? And that was it. And, you know, I think that's true. We have such a gift. There are many reasons why, but I think the easiest answer is, why not? We are here. And not only does the Rotary Arts Center have a lot of events coming up, you could check their website for that, call into the box office, or head to the box office and talk to someone should you wish. See the gallery while you're there. So many opportunities within that. Give them a follow on social media as well for all of those postings for residencies, shows, workshop opportunities. But not only that, this week, coming up on Friday, we have Kelly Russell. Kelly Russell's a legendary Newfoundland musician coming to Corner Brook at the Arts and Culture Center with Who Knit Ya? That show played the Majestic Theatre in St. John's all summer. Kelly has received the Order of Canada. He has certainly rose as a Newfoundland musician through Wonderful Grand Band and Figgy Duff, working with legacy artists like Rufus Ginchard and Emile Benoit to expose their music to the world, and of course has the Pigeon Inlet record label named for his familial connection to Ted Russell, sharing those stories. And this is really the story through music, song, and storytelling of Kelly's own history. That's happening at the Arts and Culture Center, and we have a brief video ad for that, so we'll share that now, and then I'll be right back to send you off.
I had a little taste back then. What it must be like to be a rock star with a hit song. I played it on my newly acquired Appalachian dulcimer that my buddy Ron Hines brought back for me from Toronto. Sure, everybody played the guitar. So for Christmas of 1973, I was given a mandolin, and I taught myself how to play it, basically imitating the music that I was hearing on these records, like this little tune from that Steel Ice Band record, Below the Salt. So I held them up, sort of as you might say, by the cross trees, while Grandpa examined amongst his rigging. Well, the next thing we knew, the whole outfit tumbled to the kitchen floor, and there he was, in his bare poles. My dad, Ted Russell, was best known as a storyteller and the creator of Pigeon Inlet, a fictitious but typical Newfoundland outport community of the 1950s. As Uncle Mose, Dad told hundreds of stories on CBC radio. We started a band called Rakish Paddy, and well, we did cover versions of songs from folk rock records like Fairport Convention, becoming the first folk rock band to do gigs around the St. John's area. Our first gig was up at Munn at the Breezeway Bar, and this is a poster that I've kept all these years, hand-drawn by Tommy Sexton. $1 cover charge. Good deal.
So that's Kelly Russell's upcoming show, Who Knit Ya, at the Arts and Culture Center, and there's so much from our friends Nicole and Brad and their whole team at the Rotary Arts Center coming up, and we'll see you next week for a lot more coming up soon right at the stage door.
Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Email us at comments@rogerstv.com or visit our website.
You're watching Rogers TV.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
They've reached the summit! Back-to-back Stanley Cup victories.
Greatness.
And a new legacy begins. Absolutely amazing. It has happened in Vegas.
Is not a destination.
And lightning has struck twice.
It is a continuous journey that never ends.
These are the moments you dream of. Stanley Cup champions.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, Squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast,